Hello Internet! This is the developer of battleMETAL, Peter, here today to show you, or showcase, or if you would call it a quick overview, of the battleMETAL Alpha 1.4 release that you can download now from the website. battleMETAL itself is a mech shooter, or mech simulator if you'd like to call it that. Very much in the style of old games like Mech Warrior and Earth Siege and Star Siege. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what this game's about. But without further ado, we are going to get into some of the action. So I'm bringing the console down just to kind of cut to the chase instead of having to go through a lot of the rigmarole for actually starting the game. When you start the game, you'll start in this really cool hangar, and there's a short tutorial that'll kind of give you the rope, give you the information you need to know to start playing the game. However, we're jumping over to the map immediately. So right when you spawn in, you'll be able to look around and you can kind of see these are nav points, places of interest that you probably want to navigate to. So if you hit tab, you'll be able to bring up the mission briefing menu. Now, briefing menu gives you important information about the mission itself, bit of text to kind of give you an overview of the situation. Nice tactical map. It doesn't show you where you spawn yet, but we'll be spawning at Nav Eta. Down here you can see the objectives you need to complete in order to finish the mission, and then if you click on this intelligence tab right here, it'll give you some suggestions of what you should take for this mission. Now, this one is destroy at least 6 enemy structures and then return to the base. So, probably have to go with a heavy mech. So, once we think we know enough about the briefing, we can tab on over to the hangar screen where we can pick our robot. So, they're split into 3 different sizes: light, medium, and heavy. And right now for the alpha, there's only 1 mech per size. So, I'm very partial to the Matic, but I think to really complete this mission, I'm gonna have to pick a heavier machine. Now, if you see in this window right here, this will show you what weapons the mech is armed with and where on the mech the weapon is located. So if you notice, it's got some auto cannons as shown here. It also will highlight over here. On the right arm and lasers on the left, some rocket launchers and EMP guns. Now, one important piece of battleMETAL is mechs come with a shield, and then they also have armor. In order to get to the armor, you have to break through the shields. To break through the shields, there's a lot of weapons that can affect or damage shields. EMP cannons are pretty much the fastest way to drop someone's shields. So I guess we'll keep those intact. Rocket pods, we'll keep the rocket pods there as well, but monitor isn't great on energy management, so I'm going to switch these two to auto cannons, and then let's see. Yeah, we'll switch one of the EMPs to an electrostatic coil, which is, it says right here, it's devastating short-range weapon, and it's burst fire. And then down here, if you notice when I'm manipulating, this is the weapon groups. You'll be able to assign each weapon to a weapon group. Basically, weapon group is something you'd select on the keyboard by pressing 1 through 5. So group 1 means all of the weapons here, group 2, and group 3, and so on. Now, once I think I've got my mech selected, I can go to the deployment screen. This isn't fully filled out yet. It's not complete, but the idea is that there'll be multiple deployment points on the map, which will map to the kind of playstyle you want to approach the mission from. So if you want some long-range combat, maybe you'd want to actually start over here out in the wasteland, or if you want some close combat to get right in the action, maybe you would deploy closer to Nav Alpha. But for now, we're going to deploy around Nav Eta. Let's rock and roll.
Reactor online. Shields online. Weapons online. All systems now.
So you get a really cool boot up sequence. So now, let's see. Now we can start smashing things. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit of a trip here because the heavy mech is a bit slow. So, excuse me. Might take a bit to get to the nav, but I mean, if you notice on your HUD here, you've got some very interesting things. If you look on the left side, you've got your robot with the armor values: left arm, left torso, center torso, right arm. The legs are below all of that. You've got your radar status indicator. You can switch between active and passive by pressing R. And what that does is that it actually doubles the range that your sensors can reach. In the middle, you'll see the shield and energy bars, which will keep track of. And it's just reached a nav point. Uh-oh. Looks like we got some contacts. Now, the AI is not fully implemented right now. However, they still will attack if you provoke them. So let's provoke them. So there we go. We got this guy. It looks like a medium tank. He's trying to hit us back here. And, yeah, there we go. We got him. So this is auto cannons and the electrostatic rifle. So here we go. This is a battleMETAL light mech. So against a heavy, this shouldn't take too long, especially if we want to strip its shields. But if you really want to see the difference between shields and no shields, I'll fire rockets at them. If you notice, it didn't really take his shields down. They're still kind of up. So you hit him with EMP, and you can try and get him with your non-EMP guns. So now we dealt with them, we can head on over to... Well, let's just assault the main base at Nav Delta. Cut to the chase. Now, right now, I'm actually pressing Shift to sprint. There are two movement modes, or running modes. This is regular walking, which does not expend any energy, but if you sprint, you will consume energy to move faster. As you can see, there's some enemies and a base up ahead. Looks like they spotted me first. Here we go. This is why I call it a heavy mech. So now I'm out of energy, so it's going to be a lot harder for me to fire my energy weapons. So I'll have to switch to other things like that, like rockets. So this little turret thinks he can take on the big guy. Yeah, he didn't last long. So now, we have to destroy 6 enemy structures. So, now the base defenders are pieces. Let's take them down. So now, you couldn't really hear it over the combat, but it said primary objective achieved. So now we would return to Nav Eta, and we would move on to the next mission. And that's pretty much the state of the game right now in January 2018. There is a new alpha that I'm working on that should be coming out in a couple of months, but this is just a demo of what you can download and play right now. So with that said, this is Peter, signing off.